Hi, this is Cindy from Part-Time Permies, and today we're going berry picking. Just to kind of give you an idea how I approach this, I go straight into the bushes. So I'm always wearing jeans when I go berry picking, no matter how hot it is. And actually it's cooled off a lot, so good thing, it's a perfect day for it. I don't wear gloves, primarily because I like to have a little dexterity, which does mean I have to be more careful when moving the vines aside and all of that, because they are very prickly. So we're gonna go for raspberries. We're at the end of the raspberry season right now, but we still have a few left. And we'll go for some dewberries. We'll see if we see any blackberries around as well. We don't have as many blackberries in this area. They're mainly raspberries, black raspberries and dewberries. We'll start with the black raspberries. And we have a few patches of these. One is definitely done. They start first in the sunnier area. So we do have some on the edge of the woods here. And they do like the edge of the woods. We have a patch over here, and we have a patch just a little bit further down. So you can see that some of these are a little too far along. I've missed some of them. Be nice if I could get out here all the time, but work doesn't allow me to do that. One thing to do when you've gotten all the ones you can reach, pull up on the vine. Make sure there's none hiding down low that you can't see. And one thing you make sure of when you're picking the berries is you want to make sure that you're not picking ones that have touched poison ivy. So if there seems to be a mixed batch of berries and poison ivy, you really got to watch that. Only go for the ones that are not going to be touching the poison ivy. I'm not allergic to it so far, but I don't want to push my luck on that. And I'll just show you here. We do have a lot of berries in this area, so I'm going to collect those. These are all berries. Those are all berries. Now, berries do have, compound berries do have leaves of 3. So that leaves of 3, let it be, or leave it be, does not necessarily apply to everything. Main differences here, these are raspberries. You can see the serrated leaves. They all have these tiny little tooths along the sides. So those are the way the berries come out. The poison ivy, well, first of all, it grows on trees sometimes or on the ground. But it does have leaves of 3, but you don't really see that serration. They do have some thumbs, maybe some small serrations, if you can see in there. But it's not like this tiny little serration you see on these berry bushes. So that is poison ivy growing up this oak tree. I should probably cut the vine so it dies off. These are raspberries. Now, as you can see, there's no berries on this vine. That's because that's a new shoot. The first year shoots don't bear berries. It takes a couple years for them to start developing the berries. So some of these are new ones. I leave them alone. But this, you can see, it's a darker vine. It's an older vine. So this is definitely full of berries. Another thing I'll point out, for raspberries, they do tend to be a little smaller. If I could get one off in a way I could show you. They have a hollow core. So when you pull it off, that little nub there stays with the plant, and the core on raspberries are always hollow. Blackberries actually have a solid core when you pull them off. The nub in the blackberries is a lot softer and they come off with the berry. I have a rule: if I drop any, they're left there. It's a seed for next year, so that we continuously have some new bushes. And all these older ones I'll just leave behind. You just want them when they're black. There are red raspberries that are wild. We don't have any on our property. My parents do have some on theirs. They seem to be a little more rare in this area. Obviously the cultivated ones you could get whatever color, but we have lots of these black ones. Uh-oh. I think I know what this is. Of course it's it's next to dewberries. See these vines? Those are dewberry vines. See this? I believe that's from 2 weeks ago when the Rhodes were here, because they brought a bunch of toys. We ended up with one of their red balls. I might have to text the Rhodes. Go text Justin and see if he wants his toy mailed back to him. I think they purchased it mainly for the meetup so the kids have something to play with so they don't go wandering off. But most of what's back here, these are roses. This big cane is a rose bush. Wild roses. We get a lot of those. Down running along the ground, those are all dewberries, but they're newer vines, so we don't have, well, you can see there's one berry half eaten already and it's not even ripe. So animals are getting to it. We can keep our eyes open. Actually, that one is not quite ripe. They get really dark black, and like that one. So we do have a couple back here. So we got a couple older vines. So again, the center is solid on dewberries, just like on blackberries. Another berry that has a leaf of 3. That's a strawberry, wild strawberry plants, and I have a lot of those in this section. So here's a couple more sending out runners. Strawberry season is pretty much done around here for the wild ones anyway. Some of the cultivated ones, they have late ones, but wild ones in here we'll leave for next year. Nice thing about the dewberries is they do seem to outcompete the poison ivy. So I'll find raspberry canes near poison ivy much more often than I find dewberry canes near poison ivy, unless they haven't completely filled in the area. Like this area could have some poison ivy around here, but there is a lot of dewberry moving in. These are all new dewberry canes, which is cool. That is a new raspberry cane and an old raspberry cane. Oh good, look, we have, well, it's kind of partially eaten. What I have found is I tend to find dewberries under the pine trees, the ripe ones under the pine trees, more frequently than out in the open. Although I just did find a couple right here. Right there's one. So you can see these just run right along the ground. These are smaller than normal, usually a little bigger. And that is a very pretty butterfly weed, but very poisonous. Don't touch it. Leave it for the butterflies. Chickens are wondering what we're doing. Okay, so we're gonna go back in here because we have seen more dewberries, and these are newer vines, but back in here there's some. Dewberries are a little harder to find because they're so low to the ground. See? Oh, seem to just blend in or hide behind the leaves above them. Pretty much have to look from a lower angle. But these are all dewberries here. It also means you should probably shift the vines a little bit out of the way so you can see all these. Look at that. Some of these are not quite ripe enough. They need another day or so. We might come back out tomorrow. It's like you have to look around from different angles. Because like this one, okay, there's one underneath there. I just saw it from the other angle. Go over here. There it is. Nice big one. Perfect. Nice and soft. That's a normal size. So here's where you want to watch. That is a dewberry vine. But right over here, you can see it through the sunshine. That is what you don't want to touch. That's poison ivy. So you got to make sure your berries that you're picking are not actually touching the poison ivy, or you might have a bad reaction. Okay, starting to get a little darker. I have to feed my dog, collect eggs and all that. So I think it's time to bring the berries home. Got a pretty good amount. I mean, if you look at that, considering it's the beginning of dewberry season, I think we'll be getting a lot more over time. It is the end of raspberry season, but it looks like we'll get a few more there. I think that'll be it for today. Hope you enjoyed the show. Please like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you with the next video.